Hey guys, how's it going? I am broadcasting from my college library because I spend a lot of time in here studying, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. This video is for people who are Legend of Zelda fans. I feel embarrassed that I found out about this so late because this apparently happened a while ago, and I am a huge Zelda fan. But if you guys remember back in 2008, I think it was an April Fool's Day prank, there was this fake trailer for an epic Legend of Zelda movie, and it looked so real and it was incredibly well done. They fooled us all, and it looked like it would be a great movie. Well, apparently, two groups hopped on that idea. There was one group that made a video, a full length movie called The Hero of Time, and that was broadcasted exclusively on Daily Motion for about a year before they signed an agreement with Nintendo to avoid lawsuit and copyright issues. They took it down. Now, that was supposed to have been based on the Ocarina of Time, and from what I've heard from friends that have actually seen it, I have a friend that downloaded it off of Pirate Bay. I was unable to do so, but it's bad acting, but faithful to the storyline. So I'm kind of grateful I didn't see it actually. But there is a free one that's on YouTube, and it's not copyrighted because it's actually it's a new story, but based on Ocarina of Time. If you want to look it up, it's called The Legend of Zelda, The Sage of Darkness, and all of it's on YouTube in parts. And I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about it. I'm not going to give away any details. Well, I might accidentally, but anyway. Basically, what it's about, it takes place after the Ocarina of Time, supposedly, because it's after Link kills Ganon. But the thing with this storyline is they represent it as the goddesses put this into a cycle that every 100 years after Ganon comes back, and a new hero of time has to banish him again. It's a repetitive cycle between the three Triforce parts. There's always a new Zelda, a new Link, and Ganon comes back. It's always the same Ganon. It's basically like the storyline of the games. Many different Links, many different Zeldas, one Ganon. But, so basically, there's a new king of the Gerudos. His name escapes me at the present moment. Etrigan, yes. Or Aragon, one of the two. No, Etrigan is a comic book character. Aragon, his name is. He's the new king of the Gerudo. If you know the storyline from Ocarina of Time, every 100 years, a male is born to the Gerudo, which is exclusively a female race, and that male becomes the ruler. Now, his massive army pretty much is trying to push Hyrule into an alliance. Now, he has the king and the council under a spell, but Zelda, because she's Zelda, is immune to that. There's a spot on my screen. So, she's resisting, and she's waiting for the new hero, who's actually the son of the Link that's told about in the backstory. So, as always, he's a commoner, a simple farm boy, who finds himself in facing his destiny just like every Zelda game. None of the Links ever know they're the hero until like halfway through the game. So, but it's actually pretty good, really good acting, and it's a nice original storyline, but at the same time faithful to the backstory and the source material. They even have this really cool, like, updated, like, you know, in Ocarina of Time, when they had the animation that when the Deku Tree is telling you about the story of the origin of Hyrule. Well, it's done with really neat, like, animation, sort of the same but still kind of different. You can tell that it's pretty much kind of enhanced visuals from the Ocarina of Time stuff, but it's more detailed. It mentions the fact that there was actually a rivalry among the goddesses, that Feor and Nehru didn't actually see eye to eye with Din. So Din wanted to rule with an iron fist, so that's kind of why the Triforce of Power seeks out these evil people. So I just recommend you watch it. It's a very neat story, and for Legend of Zelda fans, it is great. Just puts a new twist on things. Someone other than Ganondorf has the Triforce of Power. His descendant, Aragon, which is kind of cool because it sounds like arrogant, and that's pretty much what he is. And Aragon is aided by this mysterious figure in a skull mask, the Sage of Darkness. It actually has a lot to do with the sages. Basically, what they're trying to do is break the cycle. Because I guess Ganon's annoyed with being for coming out, trying to take over the world, failing, and being in prison for 100 years, and then coming back. So he attempts to break the cycle. I'm not going to say how, but there actually is a way he could do it. And as always, he almost succeeds, but as they say in Get Smart, he missed it by that much. But it's a really neat idea, and it's something that the developers of the games, like, I'm not even sure if this is something that even crossed Shigeru Miyamoto's mind, or Eiji Aonuma, or all those other guys that are behind the backdrop, or like the great minds behind all the games. But it was a storyline that I think you could really do well with turning into a game. Now, you know, they just made a game out of a movie, but you can take this plot of this movie, this new vision, this new eye on the Zelda games, and turn it into another game. While I'm on this, I also want to recommend, look at the trailer for The Legend of Drizzt, D-R-I-Z-Z-T. Very few people know what that is. It's a fantasy fiction series by R.A. Salvatore. It's about a dark elf who forsakes the evil ways of his people and moves to the surface and faces opposition and racists on every corner, and no one ever accepts him. Well, he eventually does get accepted, but it takes like 8 books to do that. He meets all these friends and travels the land. There's a group that are actually trying to make a film out of that. They have a trailer, they have a lot of footage, they have actors, they just need like a producer and some other stuff. They need the resources. I recommend viewing that because that's also a book series that would do great as a movie, if done right. So don't let M. Night Shyamalan anywhere near those. If you saw my review of The Last Airbender, yeah, don't let M. Night Shyamalan anywhere near your movies that you feel that you want to make, because he will destroy them. Speaking of M. Night Shyamalan, I just watched a video of his, The Happening. It was pretty decent as far as his credibility goes. Not as good as The Sixth Sense, but, you know, better than Signs. Better. Avatar was probably, The Last Airbender was probably better, basically, just because of the production value, and I enjoyed the source material. But, as I said in my earlier videos about him, I'm hoping he gets his ass in line and makes the next 2 ones better. And also, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 is coming out in a few weeks. And what's really awesome is my college is actually taking us there, and we have a theater reserved for us and like 2 other colleges in my area. So that is awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Anyway, check those videos out. Legend of Zelda: Sage of Darkness, great movie. The guys that made that are awesome. And I just wonder about the things. It's like, when you watch movies that other people have done on YouTube, like the people that have a lot of subscribers, well, actually, the Sage of Darkness don't really have a lot of subscribers, but like if you ever look at James Nintendo Nerd, the Angry Video Game Nerd, when they have all these neat special effects, like I know really nothing about computers and programming and putting and adding layers of special effects to videos and stuff, but like, when he's doing his video game reviews, he might do like a thing like, if you know Street Fighter, he'll do a Hadouken or a Sonic Boom, and like the effect will be there in the sound, like splicing that all together. Or like in Sage of Darkness, Ganon shooting magic blasts and lightning and, you know, other magic stuff. And I have no idea how that's even done. I'd like to learn, actually. Not that I want to do it. I'd rather act than produce or make movies, but just knowing how the stuff works is pretty cool. But yeah. As far as that go, yeah, so videos I want you to check out: The Legend of Drizzt trailer and the Sage of Darkness movie. And if you can get your hands on a copy of Hero of Time, my friend that has seen it doesn't recommend watching it. I want to see it just because I'm a fan, but he said the acting kind of ruins it. And it was apparently, says it was produced by David Blaine. Now, I don't know if this is the same David Blaine as in The Street Magician, but I'm hoping not, because this David Blaine also plays Link. So I don't think it's the same guy, but I didn't really get a clear picture of his face. But yeah, all the guys in Stage of Darkness are virtual unknowns. So it is a great movie. And as the name implies, the sages play an interesting role. You might even be able to predict some of the stuff while watching the movie, like pick out a character that his name was never said, but you know who he is, because these people actually resemble their video game counterparts a lot to some degree. Alright, well, that's it for this video, and this is what I do when I'm bored, or when I have homework that I should be doing. And I'll probably continue doing that now. This is how I procrastinate now. I'll catch you guys later. Check them out. I'll post links in the captions.